Most people think wealth comes from luck, connections, or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But Napoleon Hill proved, after studying hundreds of self-made millionaires, that success follows laws as precise as mathematics. If you don't know them, you drift. If you apply them, you grow. The paradox? Most of these laws are invisible. They don't show up in schools, jobs, or even in motivational talks. They live in the way you think, decide, and act every single day. In this video, you'll uncover 8 hidden secrets of Napoleon Hill, principles that still shape modern wealth. They'll challenge your fears, your habits, and the way you see failure, but if you apply them, you'll never see your life the same way again. Most people live as if tomorrow will magically fix today. They wake up, go to work, pay bills, scroll on their phones, and call that life. Napoleon Hill called this dangerous state drifting, living without purpose, letting circumstances decide instead of conscious choice. The hidden cost is huge. Years pass, but nothing changes. It feels safe, but it's the slowest way to waste an entire life. Picture someone working at a job they hate, promising themselves that someday they'll chase their dream. Someday never comes. Drifting is seductive because it's comfortable, no big risks, no big rejections. But behind the comfort, there's decay. It's like a ship with no destination. It doesn't sink right away, but it also never reaches shore. Hill warned that drifting is the root of mediocrity. The real tragedy is not failing, but never even trying. And the only antidote to drifting is a definiteness of purpose, a clear, burning goal that pulls you out of autopilot and into intentional living. Which takes us directly into the next principle. Most people live as if tomorrow will magically fix today. They wake up, go to work, pay bills, scroll on their phones, and call that life. Napoleon Hill called this dangerous state drifting, living without purpose, letting circumstances decide instead of conscious choice. The hidden cost is huge. Years pass, but nothing changes. It feels safe, but it's the slowest way to waste an entire life. Picture someone working at a job they hate, promising themselves that someday they'll chase their dream. Someday never comes. Drifting is seductive because it's comfortable, no big risks, no big rejections. But behind the comfort, there's decay. It's like a ship with no destination. It doesn't sink right away, but it also never reaches shore. Hill warned that drifting is the root of mediocrity. The real tragedy is not failing, but never even trying. And the only antidote to drifting is a definiteness of purpose, a clear, burning goal that pulls you out of autopilot and into intentional living. Napoleon Hill taught that the mind works like a magnet. It attracts what most dominates your thoughts. This isn't magic, it's focus. Whatever you think about constantly begins to guide your decisions, shape your conversations, and influence the opportunities you notice. Think poor, complain daily, and you'll attract more of the same. Think big, with intensity, and life aligns to it. Imagine 2 people facing the same chance. One only sees risk and walks away. The other, with a trained mind, sees potential and acts. The result? Opportunities seem to appear for those who are ready. In truth, they were always there, but only a tuned magnet attracts metal, not sand. Your mind works the same way. The key is repetition. Clear, repeated ideas become convictions, and convictions shape behavior. Hill called this autosuggestion, an inner dialogue that transforms belief into reality. And if the mind attracts what you focus on, the next step is to fuel that focus with something even more powerful, burning desire. Napoleon Hill said desire is the starting point of all achievement. But not just any desire. Not it would be nice if, or maybe someday. What he called burning desire is a need so strong it feels physical. It's the fire that refuses excuses, that makes you wake up early, push through failure, and turn every no into fuel. Look at the great inventors and entrepreneurs. Edison couldn't accept a world without light, and that drove him through 1,000 failures. Steve Jobs was consumed with blending technology and design, and he wouldn't stop until Apple reshaped entire industries. True desire doesn't ask permission, it commands action. The truth is, this fire can be lit in anyone. Write your goal in detail, visualize it daily, and feed it with emotion. The stronger you feel it, the stronger it becomes. Hill said, "A weak desire brings weak results. And when desire burns, it drives out the greatest thief of dreams, fear." Napoleon Hill identified fear as the invisible enemy of wealth. Not the healthy fear that protects you, but the paralyzing fear that blocks action. Fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of failure, these are silent thieves stealing opportunities before you even try. How many projects and dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because someone froze in "what if it goes wrong?" Picture someone offered the chance to start their own business but backing away for fear of instability. Or a writer who never puts words on a page for fear of criticism. The future that could have existed simply never comes to life. It's like holding a golden key but never daring to turn it in the lock. Hill taught that courage is not the absence of fear but the decision to act despite it. Fear destroys fortune by trapping the mind in worst-case scenarios, while action creates fortune by opening space for the best. The gap between failure and success is often just one step taken, fear and all. Napoleon Hill observed that the rich decide quickly and change slowly, while the poor decide slowly and change quickly. Indecision is a silent thief of time, energy, and opportunity. Every time you delay a choice, you give doubt more room to grow. Decision is an act of courage, it transforms intention into movement. Take Henry Ford. When he decided to build affordable cars for everyone, the world laughed. If he had waited for approval, Ford would never have existed. Great leaders don't wait for perfect conditions, they decide, adjust along the way, and learn fast. Decision doesn't guarantee you'll never fail, but it guarantees you'll always move forward. You can train decision-making daily, invest instead of spend, study instead of procrastinate, get up instead of hitting snooze. Every small decision strengthens your mind for bigger ones. And once your energy is directed with clarity, it fuels one of Hill's most mysterious principles, the transmutation of energy. Napoleon Hill dared to speak of what others avoided, the power of sexual and creative energy. He taught that when channeled, this force becomes leadership, innovation, and wealth. The same drive that fuels passion can, when redirected, power ideas, businesses, and creations that shape generations. History shows the pattern. Artists, inventors, and entrepreneurs learn to redirect that impulse into creation. Instead of wasting it in excess, they used it as fuel to build. Hill called this transmutation, turning physical desire into highly productive mental energy. This isn't mysticism, it's discipline. It's learning to focus vitality on projects, channel attention into creative work, and build relationships that elevate vision. When harnessed, this energy becomes inexhaustible. But even with energy, there's a companion every achiever must embrace: failure as a teacher. Napoleon Hill taught that every failure carries the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The problem is that most people only see the pain of falling, not the lesson inside it. Failure isn't the end, it's a refining process, eliminating wrong paths until the right one is revealed. Those who embrace this perspective turn defeats into stepping stones. Look at entrepreneurs like Walt Disney, who went bankrupt before building his empire, or Edison, mocked as insane before lighting the world. They understood that failure was part of the contract of success. Every rejection, every loss, every error, they all became fuel for the next attempt. The difference between those who win and those who quit lies in interpretation. Failure is life's tuition fee. Those who pay and keep moving eventually succeed. Those who retreat stay stuck. And that brings us to Hill's final, multiplying principle, the mastermind circle. Napoleon Hill taught that no great fortune was ever built alone. The mastermind principle shows that when two or more minds unite in harmony, a third invisible force is created, greater than the sum of its parts. It's like sparks meeting to ignite a fire that lights much farther. Successful people have always applied this. Henry Ford surrounded himself with brilliant engineers. Andrew Carnegie relied on trusted advisors. Today, entrepreneurs form mastermind groups that multiply results. The power isn't only in the exchange of ideas but in the collective energy that builds courage and clarity. You can build your mastermind right now. gather people committed to growth, who share values and bring diverse perspectives. This circle becomes both a generator of ideas and a fortress against discouragement. When purpose, desire, faith, decision, discipline, and learning unite in a group, the impossible begins to feel inevitable. Now you've seen the 8 hidden secrets that Napoleon Hill revealed, secrets that separate drifting from destiny. The question is, which one will you apply first? Will you conquer fear, train persistence, or build your mastermind circle? Wealth isn't a mystery, it's a method. And every day you delay, you're paying the silent tax of indecision. So I'll ask you directly, are you ready to stop waiting and start acting? Drop your answer in the comments, it could inspire someone else to break free. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because every week we uncover timeless principles that turn thought into wealth, and habits into freedom.